if you are working on healthy eating in order to lose weight, feel more confident in your skin, and have more energy so that you can be thriving in all the areas of your life, work, play, travel, fun, this is for you, especially if you struggle with consistency, even though you feel like the goal is important. And if you're not sure if this is you or not, you might be catching yourself saying things like, oh, the day is already ruined because you ended up grabbing something bad at lunch. I'm just going to order skip the dishes tonight and I will start again tomorrow. Or you might be out at brunch on a Saturday ordering a second mimosa approved by me, but then going, oh my God, this wasn't planned. You know what? I'm just going to start again on Monday and continuing to eat way off track all weekend long just because you started it off wrong. If you say anything about restarting, about a day or a night is ruined, or feeling like you have to be all in, you need consistency, and this mantra will get you there. All of these excuses have one thing in common. You are giving up instead of adapting. And this is generally a form of perfectionism or all or nothing mindset when it comes to food, which is not your fault. It is cultured into us, especially for women, especially if you're in my generation, so 35 plus, where dieting was all in all the time. And so we kind of believe that if we're not perfect, it's not worth it. But this actually gets in the way of consistency for my clients and keeps you stuck losing and regaining the same 10 pounds, not really seeing any progress over 2 or 3 months, even though you're making some good healthy choices, and generally just feeling frustrated and defeated with how hard you try and how little return on that investment you see. So what I want you to do instead is repeat this to yourself every time you're tempted to hit that screw it button because you haven't been perfect. Something is better than nothing. And now this is something I've actually pulled from a good friend and coach, Sasha Myers, who I love, and you've seen here on this channel under Welcome to the Shit Show. And I often apply this to exercise, to food, to any of the healthy lifestyle habits that I am working on, and it is a game changer. Why this works is you don't have to be superhuman to use it, and it's a good reminder for us that every little bit counts. When it comes to weight loss and energy with food particularly, it's the accumulation of those little 1% changes over time that add up over 4 weeks or a month or 3 months to get us sustainable changes in how we feel in our clothes and in our body, how we look in vacation photos, and how much energy we have to put in a great gym workout or see our friends after a long day full of Zoom meetings. So here's how I want you to use it in your day-to-day life so you can get that consistency too. All of these. Now, the next time you catch yourself feeling like you're off track and you've ruined it and there's no point in finishing off or trying today or this week or until next Monday, I want you to think about what would happen if you walked out in the morning and one of the tires on your car was flat. Maybe it had been slashed overnight, something aggressive and unpleasant. You wouldn't walk out there and immediately be like, well, I guess I'm not going anywhere today, and slash all of your other tires so that you can't go anywhere all week. You would probably feel frustrated that it wasn't going the way you wanted, and you'd call BCAA or a tow, or maybe you know how to change a tire, which is a great life skill, and you would get back on with it. You might lose some time, you might lose some energy, the day wasn't as perfect as you thought, but you wouldn't just drop a bomb on it because it didn't go the way you thought it would. That's what you're doing with food whenever you go, oh, I've already ruined it. And I want you to think about this with lightness. So when I catch myself doing all or nothing with exercise or food or even my sleep routine, which you know I struggle with, I giggle at it and I go like, oh my God, you are slashing all the tires. Like, that's ridiculous. Just stop it. So say it with lightness, but you remind yourself that that's not a healthy way to look at anything. And you certainly wouldn't drive anywhere if you did that to your car every time something was off. So don't do it with food. Something is better than nothing, even if it's a 1% better choice than the one you're about to make. Now, let's talk about a couple of ways you can actually do this in real life that add up to real numbers on the scale, real increases in energy, and real changes in your health and vibrance because you're eating better. One of the ones that I love, especially if you tend to do this with social eating, is you are out with the girls at dinner and you ended up ordering fries with your burger, even though that wasn't your plan. You had a couple extra glasses of wine and you're like, oh, I've really already gone way over my calorie expectations. You know what? I'm just gonna order dessert. If instead of doing that, you're like, yeah, I got fries and I enjoyed some extra wine, so I'm not gonna get dessert, like I'm just gonna call it here. You save 400 calories at least with a restaurant dessert. And if you did that once a week for a month, you've got 1,600 calories. That's almost a whole day's worth for some of us. So you have gotten back that much just by one small choice, and you've still got to enjoy fries and wine. So I want you to start doing the math of, okay, if I made this change and I repeated it over 4 weeks or 12 weeks or 6 months, what would I save myself? What would I gain in return? With exercise, I always do this when I don't want to do my workouts in the morning. If I get 15 minutes in, if I just go do my warm up and see how I feel, maybe I end up getting 30 minutes in. Because once I get going, I usually feel good. For me, it's about getting my butt out the door and into that gym. So if I do 30 minutes once a week, because that's reliably, there's at least one I don't want to do because I'm tired, I didn't sleep well, just like I didn't last night, I'm gonna have an extra 2 hours of exercise by the end of the month, and 8 hours over the end of 4 months. And think about how much more strength I have, think about how much better for my metabolism that muscle is. So it really adds up when you can actually do the math of what you're giving up if you just hit that screw it button instead of being a little off track and then just calling it, because you're human. The other thing I really like here is when plans go off track. So it is 1,000 degrees here where I live today, or at least it feels like it in my tiny little apartment. And so a lot of my clients have not been feeling like cooking. So they might have something planned, and the idea of coming home and turning on the stove just makes them sweat at the thought of it right now. And so instead of going, well, oh, I'm exhausted, it's hot, I cannot cook tonight, I had that chicken planned, I'm gonna order pizza or skip the dishes, you can rely on your emergency meal plan. So look for a healthy-ish takeout, something that's not an all the way in choice. So for me, that's often like a salad or a bowl from Chopped Leaf or Tractor Foods here in BC. It might also be like rotisserie chicken and a bagged salad and some baby potatoes that you can just like nuke in the microwave from the grocery store on the way home. So you need an emergency meal plan because that helps in these something is better than nothing moments. But relying on the next, let's talk about a couple of next best things. So not having to be perfect, but not needing to give up will change how you look at food and change your body while you're at it. And if you don't have an emergency meal plan, I've got you. This is an absolute game changer for being able to survive the consistency, despite how busy our lives can get and how many things can go off track, from heat to meetings running long to honestly just not having the bandwidth to follow the plan sometimes. So you are gonna want this strategy, and I've got it. I'll include the link where you can get emergency meal planning in my Make Meal Planning Easy Masterclass below. Make sure you click on it, check out the link, and let me know what you think if you're watching here on YouTube. If you're already here from my email newsletter, you should have it already. And if you missed it somehow, just email us, we'll send you the guide. Wherever you are, I hope you have a happy and healthy week. Thank you for being here. I love hearing from you so much. So email me, drop comments. It really helps to know what you would like to see more of.